Okay, let's talk about Kingdom Hearts Missing Link again. Let's go over some more details. This time, in regards to the story, we got to talk about it. There's so much to dissect that. I was going to say, like, I spent all day yesterday, like, sort of looking at some of the posts, but wanting to go back later and waiting for a lot more of it to happen. So basically, when I recorded yesterday, there was only a little bit of information for story of the new story beats that were out. Now there's just a ton of it. So let's just go ahead and dive into this. Again, we're using Twitter account Keycast. I love following his posts. He does really, really good posts in terms of Kingdom Hearts lore. And so right there's the right there. Make sure you go ahead and follow this account. All right, so let's jump to where I think it kind of begins, which is kind of like right here. Now, it's not too much new stuff, but it's like just enough. So starting with this one here, this is a new character that they're introducing called Nept. It says this is the operations master of the Baroque society that Ramus is a part of. And there's like a line he says here, I guess from the dialogue, saying, "Apologies, I'm the operations master of the Baroque society, Nept." And there's a lot of connections with him with like Neptune, and Neptune is like related to the sea. Also, his hairstyle, his color is kind of resembling a little bit of Aqua, and so there's a possible connection there. So there's so much to even think about that, man. All right, so let's go up to the next one here. There's that alone. The next one here, it says, let me see. It looks like Scala at KHML has a group of scientists and inspectors that literally have like the apprentice outfits from like Ansem the Wise, right? Like this is literally the same outfit, which is kind of interesting, which makes me wonder, are we gonna possibly get like an ancestry line of Ansem too? And kind of see like where he comes from, or his line of maybe like, I guess they're all just scientists, like that want to know more about the heart and stuff like that. Similar lab code that Ansem the Wisest group wears. Yeah, exactly. This is crazy, bro. This is so crazy. Like the fact that there's a lot of tie-ins to a lot of characters that are not just like the main kind of cast. Even though Ansem the Wisest, I feel like he's definitely a main character too. But going into characters like him and potentially having like a lore history that goes with that is kind of crazy. But yeah, they're a group of scientists and inspectors that monitor the world with advanced technology in order to know when the distortions appear. Dude. All right. Keycast put here, seems like the Baroque society that we will be a part of isn't really well liked or seen as reliable within the community of Scala at KHML. And there goes Freya. She was shown off before in a previous trailer. So they're all part of the same society, the Baroque society. Okay, this is giving like that society. You're talking about that one? Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense. Jump with the next one here. It says Freya gives us the Fortune Gear Keyblade and a uniform that shows that we are now a part of the Baroque society. Hell yeah, dude. Here's your Baroque Society uniform as well as your new Keyblade. Now, I know this is stemming from some issues like, oh, they're just passing off Keyblades. Like, what are we doing? Because there is a lot of whole issues in terms of, like, how actual Keyblade wielders, like, get their Keyblades, right? And so this kind of goes back to that kind of problem of, like, they're just handing out Keyblades. And I think Keycast talks about it right here. It is. Because someone said, okay, now I'm confused again. You can just give out Keyblades. I know we have this convo all the time, but they're acting as though they just have a bunch of these stored in inventory. And then he brought up a good point and said it's in the reports that Keyblades were forged in the past in the image of the Keyblade. So it may be possible for them to make multiple Keyblades to give out to people who are worthy of wielding them. So I don't know, dude. That can kind of answer that question a little bit, I guess. But it's still up in the air for sure. All right. But it is cool to see, like, this is kind of the society that I guess you go into by default. I'm going to assume this is definitely the default society. Oh my gosh, bro. I didn't know this lo-fi mix was gonna have like talking in it. It's talking over me, but I'm talking, it's throwing me off. But that's cool to see. All right, jumping into the next one here. It says Missing Link's story is shaping up to be really interesting. He said, sinister rival society, more unique characters and organizations, advanced technology, and us joining a society that isn't well liked. And he said, I can't wait to see where the story takes us. All right, bro. Can we just get some lo-fi stuff? There we go. No, I don't know if you guys know this, but like this is a really cool like lo-fi hip hop mix right here. Check this one out by Cozy for Kingdom Hearts. I love it a lot. I'll probably start putting this in the background for videos and whatnot. That way there's like some music playing. But that's neither here nor there. Going into more of this like apparently like other sinister rival society. That's what these couple posts are here. Because like these I've read because people have been memeing this so freaking hard. Because they're like, oh, this is reminding people of like Advent Children from Final Fantasy VII, like Kadaj and all of them, like those remnants of Sephiroth. It's kind of giving the same vibes a little bit. But one thing I noticed, or at least I looked into a little bit more, was the fact that like they have the silver hair. That looks like they could be somewhat related to Xehanort. So maybe, I don't know. But he says there seems to be a society that has the ability to manipulate people to their bidding by sticking a special item on their body, which I believe is a feather. These black feathers seem to be associated with darkness. Once placed on your body, you are then hypothesized into doing whatever you're told to do. Did I say that word right? Hypothesized? Okay, interesting. And then hypothesized into doing whatever you're told to do. When removed, you have no memory of what you did or why. Interesting. I don't think that's going to be a connection to like Sephiroth, because my first thought was like the Black Feather Sephiroth thing too, but I don't think it's that connection. But interesting. And Ramus is the one that finds it, looks like, too. Let me see. It's a translation tweet. During event cutscenes, when you pause with one tab, you can hide subtitles and take screenshots by pressing the hide UI button. Oh, okay. That is pretty cool, though. Dude, and the game, I mean, it looked good like this before, but like the fact that you can go to like ultra high setting mode to get like the best out of like the cutscenes and the characters, like I'm so into this, man. I'm so hyped for this. It looks so good. Like some of these mobile games, man, you know what it is too? I think us coming from Union Cross, we see this and like it is such a like a breath of fresh air in terms of like the next Kingdom Hearts like mobile game. Like it's actually like dialogue cutscenes for the most part. And then just the actual character models look good too. I'm excited for this, man. All right, so the next one we have from KeyCast is within the Baroque Society's home base, we can see that Freya has been putting up what seems to be a map of the astral plane and Scala and some reports. One of them has the Master Defender on it. Interesting. Because I wonder if this is an indication of Brain, because Brain at some point gets... Actually, I have to freaking recall Union Cross a little bit, because Brain does have the Master Defender at a point. It's so blurry, dude, because there's so much lore behind the Union Cross, and I have to go back and like reread that stuff. But interesting to see it pop up here, and I think it could be a connection right to Brain, because we do know Brain, it has like a major role in this game. We don't know exactly what though. I'm curious to see what he says this first comment. I'm so surprised that the societies are even a thing, especially since it was this very concept of power and spread between different factions wanting to be better than the other that led the unions back into the age of fairy tales to the Keyblade War. Surely Ephemer thought of this. That's an interesting good point. It's possibly Ephemer didn't make the societies. As years went on after his passing, whoever was in charge must have come up with the ideas. History tends to repeat itself. Dude, Kick-Ass, again, always is on top of it. That makes sense. That totally makes sense. A close-up of the communication device that allows us to stay in contact with everyone in Scala as we explore the astral plane. That looks pretty cool. It's like a gear. It's really cool, man. It fits into like that industrial kind of like aesthetic they're going for. Yeah, and there goes Cynical talking about like the fact that that's the low-res mode and then the ultra mode. Significantly better from the low-res. Dude, and there's multiple Moogles, not just one, but they're bringing back Moogles in general, which is really cool to see. I actually really like the fact that they like incorporated the Moogles into this like this. I love that. Awesome. There goes a bunch of them right here. We have 4 Moogles for Missing Link: the Shop Moogle, Locksmith Moogle, Weather Moogle, and then the Beginner's Guide Moogle. And I guess that's it. Let me see. Keycast put something here. Missing Link second beta lore. That this thread will contain and explain all the new lore we've gotten so far during the second beta. Okay, so we've gone over through... Oh my god. Oh, so he included all of it in here. Interesting. So we went through some of this stuff. Let's pass through... Let's just pass through some of this. Let me see. As our player is being escorted to Scala, Kylan Bremis talks about Ephemer, the founder of this world. Our player is still suffering from amnesia. I can't remember much from his past life, or their past life, but hearing certain topics seem to jog our memories a bit. Interesting. Right, and then besides citizens and members of Keyblade societies, they had a special group of scientists, which we know about. We talked about that already. As our player, all right, bro. I love it, but we have to put this. Actually, we're gonna pause this. As much as I want to hear that right now, it's kind of throwing me off in terms of reading this. So, okay, as our player and Remus approach the home base of the Baroque Society, they're interrupted and interrogated by two of Scala Asylum's city guards. The guards suspect them of being involved in an assault that happened near the shores. Interesting. As they are backed into a corner, the leader of the Baroque Society, Nept, appears. He's introduced as a very laid-back individual, but don't let his carefree attitude fool you. He has a keen eye and shows that he's capable of being serious when needed. Dude, come on. Come on. Like, come on. Dog. This is Aqua. This is like male Aqua. Like, yes, dude, they have to be related in some way. Nets was able to de-escalate the situation by noticing and removing two mysterious black feathers that were found on the two guards. Once they removed, the guards seemed to have woken up from being hypnotized. Up above, it's revealed that the two mysterious figures are spying on the Baroque Society. They seem to be the ones who placed the black feathers on the two guards and could potentially be members of another society. Our player is then brought into the home base of Baroque, right? This is where he pretty much, I guess, meets everybody. He gets, like, brought into the society, all that stuff. He gets the Keyblade. That all makes sense. And be tested by performing a special mission with the astral plane. Yeah, this we all kind of read, whatever. Yeah, this is the part where they mentioned, like, the Baroque Society maybe not having the best reputation, blah, blah, blah. We know this. We've seen this. Once our players all prepared for their mission, they are given a uniform and a new Keyblade. Due to their starlight being rusted and weak, because after they go through and do, like, the dive to heart and everything, they do get the starlight Keyblade, from what I remember. So that's interesting. So it looks like they can't use it because it's rusted and weak. That's why they get the new Keyblade. The astral plane is a mysterious world made up of mental energies that Keyblade builders from Scala travel to in order to fight the Heartless. No one seems to live there and is connected to Scala via corridors called distortions. Since the societies believe that the reason why the Heartless are invading Scala is because there are no hearts for them to steal over in the astral plane. Damn, so the astral plane is just like crazy. It's just a heartless fest, dude. They've taken everything and now they're invading Scala. That's crazy. In order for Keyblade builders to get to the astral plane from Scala, they need to go and use the dive station. Once there, you will be transported to the astral plane where you can fight Heartless and obtain new character pieces. Once our player arrives in the astral plane, it's shown to be somewhat similar to Scala. Freya says this is due to a layering effect, which can mean that the astral plane creates locations familiar to people as illusions to make them more comfortable. What the hell? That is so crazy, dude. Thanks. This is all the info that we've been given so far from the second beta. Thank you all for taking the time to read. That's a lot of new story, man. I am very interested to understand more of the astral plane. Like, I was trying to figure out if, like, where is that at, or how does that relate to, like, Kingdom Hearts, like the mainline entry games? Like, is there a connection between those games and the astral plane? Because the astral plane being the place where these Keybladers and these guys are able to fight Heartless, and I was just trying to figure that out. Like, I don't know. This is at a different time too, so like the idea that maybe just like Heartless at this point maybe come from that world. I don't know. Because I was thinking, like, at the point of like Sora's journey and everything, right? Heartless have just invaded everywhere, but also like they are drawn in by the Keyblade too. So I don't know, man. There's a lot to dissect and go over with all that stuff, but it's a lot of story stuff that, like, we'll learn more when we actually play the game and get those like new cutscenes and whatnot. But yeah, guys, this is. I'll put this back on now. Yeah, this is pretty much the new story bit. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Oh, he said something about the astral plane. The astral plane has something called a layering effect, which seems to allow it to transform into familiar locations. What if this is what Yozora did to transform the final world into Quadratum for him and Sora to fight? Oh, interesting. Oh God, this scene. I don't want to see this scene from Dark Road. Don't get attached and they can all just be dead, just like how Dark Road went. Interesting, man. I don't know. Give me your thoughts, because I that is something I have to think about, is like how the astral plane connects to like Sora's timeline and everything. But it could just be the fact that like this is all pre Sora, right? So like this is all like stuff that maybe was in the past, and then by the time Sora came, right, most worlds were corrupted already and got invaded by the Heartless. So that's possibly just the other way to think about that too. But yeah, I'm going to end, I think, the video here because I got to get to work and everything. But give me your thoughts about this. Where do you land with the story that you know so far with Missing Link? If you have any questions or anything, or any stuff you want to like discuss, like drop it in the comments down below. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel if you're looking for Missing Link content. Once the game comes out, I will be covering it heavily on the channel. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.